All right, I am really excited about this. I'm standing here with my good friend Griffin, but he's also on our crew. He is the guy behind the lighting console, making all the magic happen.
Do what I can
in the main room. And you've been a part of SALT Conference for many years.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about this theme that we're in this year, a brilliant symphony.
Yeah.
This idea that each of us have individual parts and we all come together collectively. There's obviously a connection point to crew and production.
Yeah.
But you know where I'm going. There are a whole lot of lighting designers on the crew.
Yeah.
Walk through that dynamic. Give me a little preview of kind of who those players are and how that's all playing out.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because there's so many opinions in the room, and lighting is so creative and so by each person's taste and skill and mindset of going into it. And so it's challenging, but it's fun to be willing to kind of open myself up to be like, hey, what do you see? Like you, Luke, what do you see when you look at it? Because you're going to see something different than I'm going to see. So I think it's really fun that we're able to present to the attendees something that's really everybody. It's the symphony mindset. We've had that idea and that thought process as a team for years. We know that, even not just this year with it being the theme of like, let's bring everybody in and let's make this for the people. Yeah. So from the booth, there's lots of LDs and then lots of LDs that come in with the different booths in the lobby and the experiences and things like that. So it can be a little humbling, but it's fun to kind of not only get to see friends, people that you know, but also get to just ask people like, hey, give me your feedback on this and actually be willing to receive it. It makes me better as an LD and it makes it more fun for everybody because we kind of get to joke with each other and play off each other. And so it kind of becomes everybody's one big project. And I don't think that's just true for lighting. I think that's true in all the areas that we really get to present something by the people for the people.
What's your greatest challenge of being the lighting director for SALT Conference? And I'm asking that, I want you to be unfiltered here, but I don't know what the answer is going to be. But what is the greatest challenge? I mean, it's just a conference, right? Like this isn't your church community. It's not your room. It's not your rig.
Yeah.
Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. Less about the technical, more about like just the way my brain works when I'm walking into SALT when we start load in is I want it to be something that me's can come in and not be distracted all week.
Oh, I love that.
So I want to do fun stuff and I want them to enjoy it. And we had lasers this year and like I want there to be cool little gags that they get to see and experience. But I was actually talking about it to a couple people last night at dinner. I want people to come in and be able to have a real worship encounter experience where they know the lights are there, they know the PA got hung, they see the LED wall, but they can still at some point kind of get to close their eyes, take a moment and just breathe and just worship. And that is the biggest challenge. And it's a heavy weight that I would say I think a lot of us on the team carry of trying to create an environment that is distraction free so that the people who notice all the distractions can hopefully come in and not have any or have as few as possible and be able to just really openly worship.
That's the heart that we've come to love about Griffin and why I love you being on the team. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It's an honor.
Griffin, we've been talking this week, celebrating 10 years, right? As we look back on 10 years, I know. 2013, 2023, as we now move ahead and we kind of look at what is maybe the next frontier in creativity and production in the church look like.
Yeah.
You work at a church.
Yes.
You're a LD every single week.
Yep.
Church of the Highlands in Birmingham.
Yes. Yeah.
Speak a little bit to like, what gets you super excited about the frontier that's ahead? What gets you like amped up about what maybe the next 10 years could look like?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that like before 2020, as much as I hate to bring that up, I think there was a lot of ways that churches and ministries were dead set in what they did because it was what they'd always done. And 2020 was kind of a restart button for everybody of we're not going to be able to do it like we did it. So a lot of the innovations, some of the AI stuff, some of the XR studio kind of stuff, that virtual visual space, I think there's going to be some really cool opportunities that we see years down the road that are kind of in their beginnings now that I think we're really going to be able to take advantage of as the church to just help get our message, the message of God, out to people in whatever way we can reach them.
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to be some really cool innovation stuff in the next couple of years that it's kind of in its infancy now, but I think it's going to be, I think we've got a fun couple of years ahead as tech.
We'll work out the kinks. Yeah,
we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah. All right. So on the flip side, looking ahead, what in the next 10 years or what as you kind of are working with your teams and volunteers and other members on y'all's production team at Highlands, are you kind of looking ahead and going, oh, yellow flag, we should keep our warnings up on this or we should be aware of this?
Yeah, I think again, I think we've all been in a sprint for about 3 years. And I think a lot of us are just starting to realize it. Everybody I talk to, I don't think that they question what they do or why they do it, but I think they question the extent that they've gone to make it happen for 3 years. And I think it's very humbling that we all are in positions, and we're in positions then to be able to help still make church happen during the season that we've been in. But I think there's a lot of people that 3 years of grinding is catching up with them, or has caught up with them. And so I've just been encouraging my teams, like, find new refreshing ways to Sabbath, find new refreshing ways to fill up, because Sabbath is so important. But also, this is kind of a Griffinism. I don't know if this would be like accurate or not, but I think it can also be fun to find new ways to Sabbath, if that makes sense, new ways to get refreshed, filled up. Don't do the same thing all the time. Like, find new ways to re-energize, refill yourself, to be that bucket that's always full, ready to kind of slosh out on everybody around you. So I would just encourage everybody, just, find moments and times to rest, real rest, and to turn off the phone, turn off the email notifications, and just be thankful for what we've gotten to be a part of, but take well enough care of ourselves that we can make it another 10 years.
That's really, really good. Yeah. What is like one practical thing you've seen your team or yourself do that has helped kind of make rest new again?
Yeah. So one thing I've done is I have done my best to actually literally turn off notifications. I think we all like say that, but then we leave and we don't really do it. We all
and your watch is constantly going off.
Yes, and we all say we do it, but we really don't. So I actually really legitimately have been using the focuses on Apple to like really actually nobody can get in touch with me when I'm not at work. Now, family, friends, that kind of stuff, they can get in touch with me, but just finding, even if it's tech ways, since we all are at heart tech geeks, to really actually disconnect, like for real. Like, we say it to each other that we disconnect, but we don't. Yeah, we all know. Yeah. And so just finding any kind of little way to really be able to turn off and just, sit and be refreshed and refilled. And there's so much content out there now from churches because of what's happened the last 3 years that I've also really enjoyed, like, not just going back and watching what my church does, because I don't see every service and I'll go back and watch them if I don't, but being able to go back, and there'll be libraries on libraries of churches all over the country, all over the world, honestly, that for the last 3 years have just been creating libraries of content to go back and watch. So I've just been finding little things like that just to sit and relax and be filled up.
I love it. Man, Griffin, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on the crew, and thanks for encouraging our community.
Yeah, absolutely.